Sammy Wilson, Gregory Campbell, and Jim Shannon all raised the matter of Republican terror as MPs discussed the government's refusal to grant a full public inquiry at this time into the Pat Finucane shooting of 1989. Mr. Campbell told MPs there was no justification for the murder, but went on to add, unlike thousands of other wrong and unjustifiable murders, there had been, however, investigations, people in court, and people convicted of this murder. Thousands of other relatives had none of these outcomes. To properly deal with the past, we need to see the same unequivocal condemnation that exists across this House about the murder of Pat Finucane, about all the other murders, including the terror campaign that was carried out by the organization that Pat Finucane's brothers, Seamus, John and Dermot, were all part of for many years. Mr. Wilson then rose to tell the House, millions, tens of millions, indeed hundreds of pounds have already been spent on 4 investigations into the murder of Pat Finucane, whose family have well-documented terrorist links. 1 brother died whilst engaged in terrorist activity, 2 were captured while engaged in terrorist activity. And indeed, informers have alleged that Pat Finucane himself, for one reason or another, was the solicitor of choice for IRA terrorists when they were captured. And the expenditure contrasts starkly with the derisory efforts which have been made to deal with the cases of thousands of people who were killed by the IRA and whose cases have not been investigated nor anybody brought to justice. I think it's a great pity that Secretary Brandon Lewis has not unequivocally ruled out the expenditure of more British taxpayers' money on a further investigation sometime into the future. I think a lot of people in Northern Ireland would have had much more comfort had he done so today. Meanwhile, Jim Shannon MP rose to his feet to speak about the likelihood of inquiries into such bloodbaths as the Le Mans Inferno, in which the IRA incinerated 12 people at the hotel of that name in 1978. We need equality, and we want to see it, he told the House. The book Lost Lives says Pat Finucane was the 3012th person murdered in the Troubles, with several hundred more killed after that, with the IRA by far the most prolific in terms of deaths. It has been documented that Pat Finucane's brother John, Seamus, and Dermot were all involved in republicanism. John was an IRA man killed in 1972, Seamus was arrested with Bobby Sands in 1976 after a firefight, and Dermot was part of the 1983 IRA maze breakout. Thank you for reading this story on our website. While I have your attention, I also have an important request to make of you. With the coronavirus lockdown having a major impact on many of our advertisers, and consequently the revenue we receive, we are more reliant than ever on you taking out a digital subscription. Our journalism costs money and we rely on advertising, print and digital revenues to help to support them. By supporting us, we are able to support you in providing trusted, fact-checked content for this website. Alistair Bush, editor.